Welcome to Nameless Debate Radio, where radioactivity is contagious. You can join us in broadening our minds on the Nameless Debates Discord via the link below, and even feature here yourself, if you've got what it takes.
Right. When I say parasite, I'm saying that as a pejorative. So like I'm not saying that in like a literal sense. What I'm saying is like
I understand that, but that ultimately ends up informing your opinion. You know, like your argument is based off of the diction present inside of it. As a result, any connotations that are attached when you do pejoratively use this still inform others of the content that you're putting forward.
yeah. So I think that the purpose of that pejorative is just to like denote how like significantly like less important this like underdeveloped fetus is compared to like the person that's like spent their life like doing stuff.
Okay, I can see that, but it still robs the mother of the autonomy to classify the being inside as parasitic or descendant.
Right, and that's her choice.
Exactly. So you are actually robbing her of the autonomy to make that choice by using that classification in the argument.
I don't know. Do whatever the fuck you want to do as the person that actually has the brain, not the person that's developing
hold on,
the brain.
man. Yeah, like,
me.
hold on. Yeah, okay,
That's me.
Fine, but hold on a second. I don't. So like, if that okay, so Dama, if that's like a device, right, to place emphasis on like a specific part of like our structure, I don't like I don't see like I guess I'm not seeing like a direct relation between like that and like robbing the mother of like autonomy, because like I don't like, my point is like to convince the person I'm talking to, right? It's not to like.
Yeah, but you don't want to undermine your own claims of the mother's autonomy. So it might be better not to even classify the entity inside of her and leave it up to her within the scope of your own argument.
Well, so I guess I would even like wonder, is it classified as that, or like is that just an emphasis on the classification?
Yeah, well, the emphasis on the classification is a classification in itself.
Yeah, but I guess like you could have like I don't know, maybe what I should do is like maybe make like the classification like more explicit, and then
I think you should make it. I think you should remove the parasite connotation in your words and denotation, and then you should add at a later point or add as a preface. I do believe that due to the significant difference in autonomical magnitude between the mother as an agent and the fetus as an agent, you believe in this parasitic nature, but that view is separate and only auxiliary and a byproduct of the structure that you're already proposing. If you do that, then people will be able to see your own.
And I guess I would have to describe. I guess I would have to describe like a specific parasitic nature, because like it's not like a parasite in like a full sense, right? So like there's like parasitic nature which would not apply in this example. But like the idea is that I'm drawing upon like commonly understood meaning to like place emphasis on like a particular part, using a particular part of what's viewed as a parasite.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't a parasitic relationship like just any relationship that's not symbiotic?
Not necessarily. That's definitely a false dichotomy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, like either there's like not a relationship there, or it's a relationship that's beneficial for both, or it's beneficial for one party,
But
but not the other.
it implies that benefit and the absence of benefit are the only possible classifications that can be listed in these relationships.
What other classification is there? I'm not familiar.
Well, here's the question: do you think that benefit changes over time? Do you think that something can be parasitic and transition into symbiosis? And do you think that there should be
For sure.
classifications?
I'm
Do you
not-
think do you think there should be classifications for the states in between? Do you believe that the absence of either relationship and the movement between these three states should be considered states in themselves?
How do
I
we
think
know
that
that there
when-
are
I think
such
that when you-
states?
Yeah, I think that when you're trying to define the relationship, you have to very carefully consider the scope, because like if you only like if it's only for a short period of time, it could very well be parasitic temporarily, but overall be symbiotic. Like
Also-
it depends on the scope of your like exactly
Also,
what you're measuring.
we have to be clear with like what sense. So like there can be like parts of something that like behaves parasitically, right? And then there's like other parts that can behave like symbiotically. And it's like the amalgamation of like all of that is like where we draw like it's where we summarize a conclusion, I think. You know. Like we draw from all of that to like
So symbiosis is a mutually beneficial relationship between two. Meanwhile,
Two
parasitism.
organisms, yes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, parasitism is the derivation of benefits at the expense of another. So, what if
Right.
one isn't losing anything at all while one gains?
There's a word for it. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but anyway, that's
Dependence. You know, dependence. So there's a difference between dependence and parasitism in that case, right?
right.
So what I'm saying is, parasite versus symbiote isn't necessarily a dichotomy. That's necessarily.
yeah, I can see that as like I can see that as a decent argument for that point.
All right. So you guys want to keep continuing with this parasite versus symbiotic type shit, or what do you guys?
I mean, I'm not really interested in the discussion.
I'm about to say this is
feeling
like getting to a dead end every time we try to like bring up different points.
No. I think we talked about it, and I think we basically settled the conversation.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you
this-
feel
this-
settled. Okay.
I want to preface by saying that or I want to conclude rather by saying that this whole conversation was prefaced by Darkmaster privately messaging me his argument on the abortion conversation.
I see. Okay, that's what wasn't clear to me. I thought it was just something he brought up. Okay, got
I was
you.
providing my own critique.
Got
for
you.
the sake of,
Got you.
hopefully
That's what wasn't
strengthen-
making sense to me. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to strengthen his argument and provoke a little introspection on his end, so that
Got you. So he
that he
fully
could-
understands what he's stating. I got you.
Yeah, that's the overall
contextualize.
discussion, and then we kind of like went into like we kind of like went into like a tangent about something else, and then we
Yeah,
solved
but-
that, and then like we may go back to this, but like
Hey,
that's
that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
You should go back to it.
the
That's
solving
perfect.
of that seems to have contributed to our understanding of the overall argument, in my opinion, as well.
Right.
So it really
Okay.
feeds in.
All right, guys. So where do we take this discussion? That's my next question.
To the meme house.
To the Mickey Mouse house? What?
To the meme house. God. You know
The
anything.
meme house. We don't talk about that place. That's a dark place.
Wow. I like it though.
You can't go there. You're not allowed.
They should turn some lights on. Like, sure, if you're blind, it's fine, but man,
What? Not enough space. What do you mean?
do you think that there's ever been like anywhere in the world like a blind people sword fighting club?
Wait, what?
Yes. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely
I mean, I can 100% see that. Do I see it as a safe thing for people? I don't think so, but I mean, if you're good at like your other senses, sure, why the hell not?
That would be really impressive, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it blind. I fucking kill myself, I think. That's actually a lie. I'd probably end up killing someone else that I'm not intending to kill.
Oh, I'm guessing they probably would not use like sharpened swords. I mean, they could accidentally take out an eye.
Yeah, never know. Alright,
I
so
thought that
where's
was
this
funny.
discussion going? Oh man, everyone's like equally minded. We need those radicals.
What is better, Blu-Tack or Velcro?
Wait, what?
Which
What'd
is
you say?
better, Blu-Tack or Velcro?
What? I don't know what that is. I know what Velcro is. What's the other one?
Blu-Tack is like it's like a sticky like shit you put to like use to put up posters and stuff. Like
I
it
don't
becomes
want.
sticky.
Is
Under pressure.
it like Fun Tack? Is that what it is?
I guess maybe,
It's
probably.
like a blue. It's like some blue shit.
And used to like stick shit to walls and
Yeah,
stuff.
you stick shit to walls or whatever.
Yeah, which
I don't
is
like
better,
shit.
that
I got
or
that shit on my
Velcro?
hair one time. No, I don't like that.
Oh, that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare. You only do that once.
Yeah, you only do that once, and you never do it again.
Unless you hate yourself.
Yeah, unless you want to fucking kill yourself, go ahead. Anybody have something to debate about? Dun.
Should 0 be considered a thing?
Should what?
Should the number 0 be considered a thing?
Of course.
No, it's not a thing. It's like a symbol used to like signify not a thing.
No, well, it's something that we use for a starting point. I don't know. I don't know what I would do without the number 0. Celsius wouldn't make sense about the boiling point. I mean, that's freezing point if it wasn't for 0. Like the whole thing is 0 is different than 1.
Yeah, but like it's like inherently not a number by definition. Like it's
But what about in
it
terms
doesn't
of
have a
coding?
value.
What about in terms of coding and stuff? You need it, don't you?
You need it.
Yeah,
though.
you use it as a value of no value. Like you could basically equivalently replace it with null.
Exactly. That's why it's there, just to say there's nothing there.
Yeah, that's what I think though. Like I think it's a signifier that there isn't a number of things here. Like it's not actually a thing itself. It's just a flag to signify that there's no relationship here. Like if something's 0 meters away, it means that there's no distance relationship.
Exactly.
So in my opinion, it's not really a number. It's just like a flag we use to signify the lack of a number.
Yeah. I mean, you can be whatever you want. What? I'm gonna say something.
Mathematicians would probably be really salty with my opinion there, but
I don't know, probably like an hour.
or like the 0 vector. That's like
What?
ridiculous. The 0 vector. It's like a vector with no magnitude, but somehow still can have a direction. Like what?
Shit. What was I gonna say? Man, there's something that was on my mind that I was gonna say. How do you guys feel about what? How do you guys feel about like, people that like, it's like the doctor tells you you're going to die. How do you feel about people making their own decision to like let the doctor essentially kill them? Like, do you think that's like unjust by the doctor, or like, what do you think?
Do you mean like euthanasia or?
I don't know exactly what the word is, but it's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like, I should say.
So like you could describe it as like a legal assisted suicide.
Yeah.
To an extent. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's euthanasia. I'm in support of it, but I think that there should be a lot of regulation around it so that way it can't be abused.
Yeah. I think
I
it's
think
a
people have the
perfect.
right to choose when they die.
I
Well,
think
they
as long as
should.
you're in a stable state where you can where you could like actually like think about it and stuff, then you by all means do whatever you want.
Yeah, there should be like a panel of people, and you have to like convince them. It's like, okay, this is why I would like to die. I think that this is a valid reason, and if they like have contentions and you cannot like,
Well, how do you feel about people just wanting to kill themselves in general? Like if I told you today I want to kill myself, and I told you 100% certain I want to kill myself, do you think would it be okay to have like just no? You don't even have to kill me. I will personally do it my own. Like, how do you feel about the whole suicide thing? Do you support the person's idea of like wanting to kill themselves, or are you like
I
against
think
it? Think all
I
lives
think it's
matter?
entirely dependent on the circumstances for me. Like, I think there are definitely some circumstances where it makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, it's quite easy to be in a frame of mind where it makes sense, but then at a later point in time, it would no longer make sense. And if given the opportunity to experience a later time, you would have regretted killing yourself. So I think that's why there really has to be like something that should be like looked at very, very carefully before it's allowed, because
Yeah.
people could make a big mistake.
Like I understand the whole thing about like preventing people from killing themselves because it's usually only for a temporary amount of time. But sometimes it makes me depressed when I see someone that like is just unhappy in life and then like people not allowing them to do what they want. I don't know. It makes me depressed in that way, but it also makes me depressed when people just want to kill themselves. It's like a mixed feeling. I don't know. It's very interesting. I always wondered the difference between because like from a science standpoint, depression is a lack of chemical balancing. Um, so it's very I find it very weird. What's the difference between depression and then just not wanting to than just being depressed? Like I'm saying like what's the difference between actually having the chemical imbalance and then having the actual mentality of like depressed? I don't really know if that makes sense. Like
Well,
you kind of get what I'm saying?
I think the mentality would come from their life circumstances.
Right, but like, do you think that like all depression is chemical imbalance and can be fixed, or do you think that it depends on the person and the circumstance?
I think it is somewhat dependent. I think that in a large number of cases, it is caused by chemical imbalance, but definitely not all. Like some circumstances are just fucked, and like it's hard to stay positive in those circumstances. And at the same time, though, I think it's quite possible for like the circumstances to be what causes the chemical imbalance. So it may be possible that like it begins as a circumstantial depression and then evolves into a chemical one. It's
I
just
get
hard to
that.
know.
Interesting.
Thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe, and join us in the Nameless Debates Discord. We hope to see you there.